Charlotte is one of the fastest growing cities in the country, but living here isn't perfect. Today, we're talking about a few real pros and cons people experience after moving here. Things like the job market and why so many people relocate here, what surprises people about the cost of housing, and what everyday life is actually like when it comes to traffic, lifestyle, and location. Let's start with one of the biggest reasons people move to Charlotte in the first place. One of the biggest draws to Charlotte is the job market. Charlotte is one of the largest financial hubs in the country and home to major companies like Bank of America and Truist, along with a growing tech presence, healthcare, and corporate headquarters. For many people, relocating from places like New York, California, or parts of Florida, Charlotte feels like a sweet spot where you can still find strong career opportunities without the extremely high cost of living that comes with some of those bigger cities. That's a big pro. But the growth that comes with those opportunities also creates one of the cons people don't always expect. As more companies move here and more people relocate for those jobs, housing demand increases right along with it. That's one of the main reasons the housing market here has become more competitive over the last several years. If you're someone who's thinking about moving to Charlotte and trying to understand what the buying process looks like here, I actually put together a home buying guide that walks you through the whole process step by step, from getting pre-approved all the way through closing. It's a really helpful starting point if you're relocating and trying to get your bearings in a new market. And even if Charlotte ends up not being the right city for you, I can still help point you in the right direction. I work with a referral network of trusted agents across the country. So if you're watching this from somewhere else and planning a move, I can connect you with someone local who really understands that market. You can download the home buying guide or request a referral using the link below if you want help getting started. But job opportunities are just one piece of the puzzle. The next thing people usually want to know about is the cost of living. Charlotte used to be known as one of the most affordable cities in the country. And while it still is more affordable than many large metropolitan areas, the reality today is a little different than it was 10 years ago. The good news is that everyday expenses here, things like groceries, dining, entertainment, and property taxes, are still relatively reasonable compared to a lot of other major cities. But housing is where people are sometimes caught off guard. As Charlotte has grown and more people have moved here, home prices have increased in many neighborhoods. That doesn't mean homes are impossible to find at a reasonable price, but it does mean strategy matters a lot more than it used to. Understanding which neighborhoods are growing, where new development is happening, and what commute patterns look like can make a big difference in how confident you feel about your purchase. This is one of the reasons I encourage buyers to start by educating themselves before jumping into the process, which is another reason for you to download my home buying guide if you haven't already. And if you're trying to decide whether Charlotte is even the right market for you, that's something I talk through with people during free consultations as well. Sometimes a quick conversation about your goals, your timeline, and what kind of lifestyle you're looking for can help you narrow down whether Charlotte makes sense or whether another city might be a better fit. Now let's talk about what everyday life looks like here. One of the biggest lifestyle advantages of living in Charlotte is the location. You're about 2 hours from the mountains and roughly 3 hours from the beach, which makes weekend trips incredibly easy. A lot of people who live here love that they can spend a Saturday hiking the mountains or a weekend on the coast without having to plan a huge trip. Charlotte also has a growing restaurant scene, professional sports teams, parks, greenways, and plenty of things to do throughout the year. For many people, it strikes a nice balance. You get city amenities without feeling like you're living in an extremely dense or overwhelming environment. But like most growing cities, there are trade-offs. Traffic has definitely become more noticeable over the past several years as the population has grown. It's still nowhere near the levels of places like Atlanta or Los Angeles, but commute times can vary quite a bit depending on where you live and where you work. That's why choosing the right neighborhood matters so much. Living 10 minutes closer to work or closer to the highways you use every day can make a huge difference in your quality of life. This is another area where local guidance really helps. If you're relocating and trying to understand which area makes sense for your commute, your lifestyle, and your budget, that's something I help people think through all the time. If you're exploring a move to Charlotte or trying to figure out where you should buy, we've built out a full library of resources on our website that walk you through the process step by step. Take a look at those, and if you have any questions about Charlotte, relocating, or the housing market, leave it in the comments below or reach out directly. And if you want to keep learning about living here, check out this video about the 8 Charlotte area neighborhoods that are booming under $750,000.